Alright, y'all, so it's been 3 weeks since we inoculated these jars. So we're gonna look at them. We're gonna open some. Because there are some that are really ready to go. So this is our turkey tail. I wrote labels on tape, and apparently when you have them for 3 weeks, they start to fade. So you're not gonna really be able to read that. But the turkey tail obviously did phenomenal, completely inoculated this entire jar of grain, ready to go. It's starting to spread to the actual jar and the lid. So completely ready to go. I could have taken this out of a jar like a week ago and it would have been fine. This is another one, the red reishi. This one was fully ready to go like a week and a half ago, but I wanted to wait and do all the jars at once. It's completely taken over the entire jar, the entire lid. Everything's like, they're running out of food in here to eat. We got to get them in some substrate so that it keeps going and we actually get some mushrooms. This is the chaga, which is pretty close to fully inoculated. It's not as thick, but you can see literally it's only got that little tiny section there that it hasn't really gotten mycelium to. Honestly, it's ready to go. Because that tiny little bit of grain, it's still going to go in the substrate. The mycelium will still grow on it, like ready to go. The only thing is with the chaga is it only grows on birch. So I have to locate some birch before I get this to its final destination. It is going to go into the same straw and wheat bran substrate that everyone else is going into. It just has a further step to get to with the birch wood chips. This is the chicken of the woods. It's pretty much ready to go. It's got a little bit less up here. You can kind of see like the difference in color there. I did shake every single one of these jars exactly a week ago from today, so they got shaken up so that they could get to all of the creases that my hose is dripping. So it could get to like all the pieces that it couldn't get to before. This mycelium looks kind of different from all the other ones. It's like almost grainy and patchy. I'm not really sure how well it like travels. So it's still making its way up there. We're still gonna take it out of the jar. We're still gonna get it into some substrate. These two are what's left, and they are the lion's mane. You can see that the bottoms actually did better for these guys. I did shake, again, I shook all of these. So they are still not 100% now that a week has gone by. They're not totally completely covered, but they pretty much are. There's mycelium on pretty much everything, and the lion's mane mycelium is a lot thinner than some of the other ones. Like this turkey tail and red reishi, like it's a very thick one, whereas some of these other ones are a little more wispy or thinner. So we're gonna go ahead and open this one. This is the red reishi. It's completely gone to the lid, everything. So let's just kind of see what we have. Okay, so it totally covered the lid. It got kind of stuck on there. This is like the syringe port, and these are the filters, obviously. So they're gonna have to get like majorly cleaned. But this is what it looks like on the inside. It's completely covered. And it's spongy. She's not gonna just like plop anything out in there. So we're gonna have to probably get like a spoon or something or like a stick to scrape it out. We're gonna pop the lid back on because now that we've opened it, it has gotten air which can contaminate it. So we're just gonna pop that lid back on while I open up a couple other ones. This is the turkey tail. So again, this is one that had completely kind of taken over. So we've got just a tiny bit growing on that lid, not as much as the red reishi, but like it's completely solid in there. We're gonna throw that lid back on as well. Again, it's gonna need some help getting those out. This is the chicken of the woods. Again, this one is not fully done. So like if I turn this over, it would actually pour some out. So there's really nothing on the lid, and like I said, it would pour it out. But it's got mycelium going in there. Got a little baby, we're just gonna throw that out. This one is the chaga. I don't think any are gonna pour out of this one, but it's not made it quite to the lid yet. Yeah, it's like pretty thick on there. And again, if you guys haven't been tuning in, this is week 3 since we inoculated. These are the last 2, which are the lion's mane. We actually have one that's stuck in the syringe port. That's very interesting. Probably from when I shook it. If I do turn this over, it will let some of these out. But again, it's definitely doing well with the grain in there. And then this is the other lion's mane that we have. Wow, this one too. So one got stuck up in that little syringe port. And we're getting ready to go. So these guys are gonna get popped into some substrate. The substrate is sterilized with lime. So lime raises the pH of the straw. Hello, August. So it raises the pH so high that most of what contaminates mushroom growth, like bacteria and other fungi and things like that, is not going to be able to survive through that process. So once it gets fully drained, then we can add our jars, and this will kind of be already ready to go. Mycelium is going to be able to outcompete other things by the time that things are like getting going. Like this is not a baby anymore. This is like a teenager. So when it gets exposed to other things outside, like other bacteria and fungi, they're still going to be like infant stage, whereas we've got some strong mycelium ready to go in there that will kind of take over that. And that is one of the ways that you're able to get some of those things going without a contaminant totally taking over. It's not foolproof. It really isn't. Raising the pH is not 100%, but for the most part it works. And like I said, there's a couple of these that'll go through probably 2 stages because they'll need wood chips. But we will get to that at a later date. We're going to do these guys, and we're also going to start new jars. So we're going to have another batch started. And we're actually going to do, instead of 6, we're going to do 12. So we'll have even more next time. We also have some different mushroom cultures that came in. So we'll have a little bit more variety thrown in here. I still have a ton from these cultures because I did liquid syringes, and you only use like a portion of that when you do 1 jar. So we're gonna get going on that, but this was just week 3 update and opening the jars to see what it looks like on the inside. So I will catch y'all later. Thank you so much for tuning in, and subscribe or like the video so you can see more.